Let's talk Slay the Spire 2. When it came out, Slay the Spire 2 was the hero of the indie world. It hit over 570,000 concurrent players. But in just 9 weeks, the rating has plummeted from overwhelmingly positive to mostly negative. The numbers are staggering. The original game had only around 5,700 negative reviews over full 7 years. The sequel has hit nearly 80,000 in 2 months. That is 14 times the criticism in a fraction of the time. Today, I'm doing a special 9 PM audit on the 3 waves of friction that brought the game down hard, and why this is a case study in how a developer can lose the trust of their core audience, and more importantly, what it all means to us busy adult gamers. The first 2 waves of this collapse were to do with mechanical stuff, like the game's content. For those of us who only have an hour or 2 at 9 PM, we want a challenge, but we also want to feel in control. We also want to assume that the developers of our favorite games are for us, not against us, We want the intrinsic assurance that we are in good hands and the devs are not gonna bite us. But the Slay the Spire community started calling the game commercial fraud. Why? Because of things like the Doormaker boss. The Doormaker boss became the face of the arrogant developer narrative because it wasn't just a difficult fight, it was really restrictive. In the late March patch, that boss was overhauled to swap between 3 phases that felt like punishment for playing the game well. One phase limited your card draw to just 3 cards, another made every card cost 1 more energy, and the final phase was especially bad because it permanently exhausted cards from your deck every turn. This was really rough for players who spent 100+ hours mastering the strategy, the infinite or a high cycle deck to go against the Doormaker. This boss didn't just challenge them, it made their entire build illegal. So, after heavy criticism by the fanbase, Megacrit eventually removed the boss in May. They replaced it with Aeon Glass, a different boss. But the damage was done. To the community, the fact that it was ever released showed a developer who had lost touch with what makes the deck builder satisfying: player agency. Then came the second wave of bad reviews due to, well, in all honesty, a single card nerf. In Slay the Spire 1, the prepared card was a staple for the silent, a simple zero-cost card that allowed you to cycle your deck. In the sequel, the card was reworked into a 1-cost card that you have to discard 2 cards to give you energy next turn. Now, this is a classic way a card game developer can frustrate their audience. You have a limited time to play, you have your favorite cards memorized, and you have built up your strategy using these cards as cornerstones. And suddenly, the developer changes a fundamental zero-cost tool into a clunky 1-cost setup card. It's not just a balance change, it's a change in the tempo of the game. For an adult gamer, having the math of your favorite hobby changed without your consent feels like you are almost being told you've been playing it all wrong. It starts feeling more like a lecture from the developers. They know the right way and you don't. And to be honest, I've never liked lectures even when I was paying my university, so that it could give me a series of lectures over the course of many years. So why should I play a game that feels more like lecture? Now, as bad as the first 2 waves of bad reviews had been, the third wave is the one that hit really hard. It really damaged the games and the developer's reputation. It was a different kind of issue. It wasn't about the game system, it was cultural. It was about a name in the credits, Anita Sarkeesian. To understand why her name in the credits caused a hugely negative rating, you have to look at the historical context. To many who have been gaming since the 80s and 90s, Anita Sarkeesian represents a special kind of elitism. She's famous for criticizing games by stripping away their context, like calling the typical hero saves princess plot misogyny, and branding gamers as a criminal culture. Many long-term gamers see Anita as a media critic rather than a player. Her most famous controversy involved a video of the game Hitman, where she claimed the game encouraged violence against women by showing her killing female NPCs, while ignoring the fact that the game actually penalizes you for killing known targets from the beginning. To gamers who have built this healthy gaming culture through pure passion over decades, Anita Sarkeesian represents a force that uses games as a convenient sacrifice for a political gain. And so, players to see Megacrit listing her as a consultant in Slay the Spire 2 was deeply troubling. It wasn't just about what her advice would have been, because we would never know, but it was more about the symbolism. To the player base, it felt like the developer was inviting a backseat driver who has historically treated gamers as an enemy to be reformed. For the busy old gamers just looking for peace, that's a slap in the face and a stress that frankly is neither here or there. So the game's sitting at mostly negative reviews now. But then, here is the paradox. Despite the bad rating, the game is a financial juggernaut still. It's approaching 7 million copies sold, and 180,000 of us are still logging in daily. And that's all well and good, but I believe the negative opinions should be heard and not ignored. Now, there should not be any bias towards any size, positive or negative, and that's why I believe Steam flagging the recent reviews as abnormal, allowing users to filter out the negative reviews, is somewhat short-sighted, because for many, this isn't just some off-topic. It's an audit of a relationship. It's about trust. It's about us players having the information so that we could make our own gaming choices. I think we are really seeing a new reality in 2026 via Slay the Spire 2, where a game can be a massive success while its soul is in a state of civil war. The public sentiment is grim, even if the bank account is full. The 9 PM audit isn't really about telling you what to think. It's about asking if the game still earns its place in your limited window. When trial and error starts feeling like an attempt to tame the users, and the credits start feeling like a political statement, our evening sanctuary is breached. I still have the game installed on my hard drive, and I still play occasionally, and I still enjoy the game. But I have to admit that my adoration of the game is a bit tainted, and it's really sad. Let me know how you feel about the whole situation in the comments, and also don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on my weekly videos. I have lots more to talk about adult gaming life. Enjoy your evening, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.